All right. Looks like we're ready for our next run slash showcase of Pump It Up by Zelu. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Brooke. Hi, everyone. I'm Zelo, Zello, however you want to say it. Never matters to me. This is going to be a nice, fun little showcase of Pump It Up XX 20th Anniversary Edition. Pump It Up, for those of you not familiar, is a giant dancing game, as you can see with the giant cabinet and the pads I'm stamping on. It was made in 1999 by Andamiro as a kind of competitor to DDR at the time, and it's kind of evolved in its fun little niche. With me, I have two wonderful commentators, if you all want to introduce yourselves real quick.
Hi, I'm Haru-kaze. I'm playing this game too. I will be one of your hosts.
Hi everyone, I'm V Kim. I'm a former developer of Pump It Up Infinity alongside my Team Infinity colleagues / Pump It Up parents here, Zelo and Haru-kaze, and I'm happy to be commentating in this block for a great cause.
Thank you very much, guys. So I just want to say a few things before we start. The big serious one is that we did lose a very dear friend in the Pump It Up community a couple weeks ago very suddenly. And he was a huge supporter of trans rights. He loved everyone. So this showcase will be dedicated in memory of our friend Pedro Santos. So we'll have some fun for him. Anyways, thank you everyone who donated to get this into the marathon, because I know bonus games are sometimes a little difficult to meet, but we do have one other incentive for this. We have a boss chart bid war at the very end. The very last song, you can pick from one of 3 songs: Vacuum Cleaner, 1950, or Error Code 0, and you can donate for which one I will suffer on at the very end, because all of them are really hard. But anyways, I will go ahead and get started here. Haru and Vincent will cover pretty much all the commentary while I mute, and y'all have some fun. So let's go ahead and get started.
I guess we'll talk about the songs a bit later, so for now you can choose just by the name, whatever you like more. Now as Zero is starting, let's explain the basic gameplay just for a bit. The idea is pretty simple. You have a platform, you step on it, and you have a screen. On the screen you will see shapes coming typically from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen, and at the top of the screen there is an area, we call it step zone. When the shapes, usually arrows, reach the step zone, you have to press a panel on the platform. That's a pretty simple idea, I guess.
Yep, it's pretty much like, as Zelo mentioned, it's basically like a direct competitor to Konami's Dance Dance Revolution. Speaking of, this is a great first song to start out. If anyone recognizes Jamie and Meaty D, they're the producers of Smile DK. And Soxo is the featured singer of Pop the Track. Also, the singer, one of the main singers for Smile DK.
Yeah, and Zelo picked this song with a hidden purpose in his mind, because Jamie is actually a trance composer and she is really great. Totally recommend her music.
Yes, wholeheartedly agree.
This is so if you noticed before the song there are circles in which you see some numbers. The number indicates the difficulty. This chart Zero is playing is level 16. The scale in Pump It Up goes from 1 to 26 on singles. Single is playing just on one side of the platform, like Zero does right now. And if you use both sides of the platform, which is called doubles, the scale goes from 1 to 28. By the way, the difficulties for the bid war are 27, so it's just one level below the hardest difficulty in the game. That's pretty difficult.
It sure
is. 16 is pretty much in the middle of the scale. It's a good range when you consider to be a dedicated player, and from here on things start to get more and more difficult, like much more difficult than before this.
Oh, for sure. I'll just touch up on like the singles and doubles, like to go back on the circles, to explain the colors of the circles. Like you see here, it's like a red-orange, that's singles, green is doubles. There are some other colors, like I think yellow is co-op, and purple and blue are performance charts. Those are meant to be freestyle. I don't think those are going to be shown today, but just for
they're not going to be shown. They're usually just for fun, having fun showing off or doing some weird stuff. Zero is going to just play the game normally. We call it speed. as opposed to freestyling when you dance to the music and not just press the arrows. So
Right.
this game can be played visually when you aim looking at the screen. It also can be played with your ears when you aim more listening to the music but still looking at the screen. It all depends on your abilities. This game is available pretty much to anyone to play. You can do different things, you can write different songs. The track list is very huge. It's about, 500 songs by now. There are a lot of genre, a lot of composers from different countries, so I think anyone can find something they like. Meanwhile, Zero is playing a song from Japanese composer located in the folder J Music. And as far as I remember, this is a Toho remix?
Yes, this is a Toho remix. It's a remix of Invisible Full Moon from the Toho series.
There is just a bit of Toho in Pump It Up, usually remixes.
Yeah, I mean, what's a rhythm game nowadays without Bad Apple, right? Every game's gotta have
this song won
that.
against Bad Apple when Zilla was picking a track list.
Yeah.
Get to listen to some less known remixes, I guess. I don't think this song is in any other Rit game aside from Six Star, which is made by one of the
Right.
background designers from Pump It Up.
Right.
As you may notice, while Zilo is looking at the arrows, there is also a background video. Some videos in Pump It Up are really bright and animated, some are just generic, but Pump It Up is known for being attractive and using different videos for almost every song. It's one of its selling points for the arcade. It's bright. You can also see the
It's definitely
machine.
very bright.
There are a lot of shiny lights. Our machine is not even like the biggest and the brightest. It's previous model of the game. What you may find in round 1 arcades right now is much bigger version of this. Not good for home use though. It's bulky.
Right. I think you have a pretty good cab, and that's the CX cab design. That's a pretty popular modern cab. It's a very popular choice too. Very high in demand. I think those are very hard to find.
Yeah. It's also pretty rare because it comes straight from Japan, even though the game is made in Korea.
In Korea, of course. And we got a little bit of a hard style going on here with Awakening.
There's a commentary in chat. Pump does cause a conflict in my brain. I don't think Zilo's gonna play conflict, but he's definitely gonna play brain power later. So we'll get some brain, hopefully.
Right.
Yep. Pump It Up is somewhat a clone of Dance Dance Revolution, but the arrows are located differently. They're located like an X in diagonal shape, when Dance Dance Revolution has them up, down, left, right. So it can take a bit of time to get used to it. Usually we just treat them as different games and don't try to translate your skills. Just start anew, enjoy it as a different game.
Right. It's pretty crazy how just changing up the layout and just adding one more arrow is can make for some very interesting and crazy patterns.
Yeah. Yo, there is also something interesting going on in this step chart. You might notice the arrows were really squished for a bit of time. We call it a slowdown, and Zero can't really do anything about it because Pump It Up does not allow constant speeds like C mods. You only can use M mode when you set the speed to some general BPM, but it does not remove any visual effects. We call it gimmicks. So yeah, for Pump It Up, we have to read both slow and fast. There's a lot of it.
Yep. Pump requires a lot of skills.
Ooh. So Zero got an S. Let's talk a bit about grades in this game. S, as you can see on the screen, Zillow got 0 misses and 1 bet, and it's still an S. In Pump It Up, S means not getting any misses, but you can get anything else. Bets, goods, grades, perfects, obviously. It's not always true, but it's general rule. If you only get perfects and grades and no goods, no bets, you get a double S. It's a better grade. Means you did not make any major mistakes, just some slightly not accurate steps. And if you only press everything perfectly and get perfects, it will be triple S. There are also different grades below this. If you get one or several misses, it's usually an A. If you do not so bad, it's B, C, D, and if you did not do really well, it's F. There is no E grade in this game, funny enough. I don't know why they didn't like E letter.
Right. That would have been pretty funny to see. But yeah, a little bit more about the grading system. You'll have like some colored grades, and then hopefully he won't get any like actual broken grades, as we like to call it. They'll actually like visually indicate like they look cracked, they look a little chipped, and broken. That means you did not stage pass a chart, which means in this context, it's your life bar went down completely at any time.
Yeah, you can see bright rainbowy stripe at the top of the screen. This is your life bar actually. If you get some misses, it will lose the color, will become just blue, and if you get more misses, it will become red, and then it will be blinking red when you drop it completely.
Right. Oh, look at him go with the spins.
Yeah, so this is one of the oldest
gosh.
songs in Pump It Up. It was introduced, second mix, I think?
Wow, you're awesome.
Yes.
So yes, and the step chart is pretty old as well. The meta of creating step charts changed over the years, which is natural. So some patterns may feel very unusual to the players who started recently. So you saw Zillow got only 1 grade, it's double S. It's a pretty good score because the difficulty was growing from the first song, and this was level 21.
You can only go higher from here.
Difficulty zone level 1. Level 21.
Oh, how crazy how this game first started out as a very freestyle heavy chart, probably just like DER, and then it's just very focused on speed now. Oh, how times change.
Yeah, I heard that in the very first games, the step charts were made by professional dancers, so they can be danced to and not just like move your feet and not move your body too much.
Well, I mean, we'll be seeing a little bit of dancing here now that he picked King of Sales by Norazo.
You wanna talk a bit about the lyrics?
So this is first off, Pump It Up is very heavy on the K-pop. That's always been like the main thing for when it comes to licenses. This is one of the Norazo is a very funny Korean group, and this song is called King of Sales, and as the lyrics, as the title suggests, this lyric is actually about just being the best salesman possible. And if we see here, he's going down on his hands with like with those things. It goes down on the lyrics in Korean, osopsho, which means welcome. Like basically, if you walk into like a Korean business, that's what they say. They'll say, "Hey, welcome," and they bow. So it's like when you go down and hit on the osopsho quads hands, it's kind of simulating like you just bowing someone as if they're walking into to your business.
And if you play the double for this song, you have to stretch from one end to the other diagonal end of the platform. I wonder what that was referencing
I think that
to.
is just the person who wrote that chart just wanting to be mean. Ooh.
Yeah. Sometimes they like to add some tricks just to be mean.
You see some of these gimmicks just go crazy here. What a work of art.
Really good song.
It really is.
I like it. It's so funky and so cheerful. Usually K-pop in Pump lately goes very slow and kind of sleepy, and a lot of it is very similar to each other. That's what's popular nowadays in
Right.
the scene.
Very formulatic, like a lot of pop music. And there he goes, bowing.
Oh,
He did it.
yep.
He's now
He
the
did
best
it.
salesman.
As Pump It Up mostly targeted for Asian side of the world and a bit of Latin America, there are not many licenses from North America or Europe. There were some over the years, but nowadays it's mostly techno-electronic music, some Korean music, some Japanese music, K-pop, stuff like this. And he was going up another level. It's 22 now.
Oh, this one's a spicy chart.
Yeah, it's a somewhat classical remix. It's a remix from Phantom of the Opera. What is musical?
Right,
Maybe it's
yeah.
musical. Pump It Up is known for a lot of really good classic or just popular music.
Right. You'll see that
remixes.
it's credited to Banya Production. Originally Banya. They were on Namiro's in-house originals band for the longest time. Unfortunately, they're not around anymore. Like as a group, they have since moved on to other things. But it's pretty cool to still have a lot of their stuff in the game. It's like going back to DDR, Konami having a lot of like Naoki originals in DDR. It's pretty much the same deal.
Yeah, and in this step chart you may notice Dilo is moving around the pad a lot, even though he's still on
Right.
one side. There are a lot of turns when you have to move your body in the way that it faces, not straightforward, but maybe to the side or even backwards. In Pump It Up, there are a lot of ways to make the step chart difficult. You either can make it really fast, have a super high BPM, like more than 200. You can make it very twisty, like this one. It also can be tricky. You can have to press more than one panel with one, we call it brackets. And there are just some long songs without breaks when you go, and you need
Right.
stamina for this. So Pump It Up, it's pretty good fitness training.
You'll definitely get a heck of a cardio workout. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good cardio. And you may have noticed in this section right before, Zero had to press two panels with one foot
Right.
at the same time.
Now you can see he is kind of I wouldn't really say cheating those turns, but I mean I get it. It's really fast, and he has quite some more charts to do. He doesn't want to tire himself for the possible boss songs
Yeah.
if we do reach those.
Saving
Right.
energy. I heard a good term for this. Not cheating, but manipulating the pattern.
Oh, true.
I think it was Triple S. I was not looking at the screen. I think it was Triple S. So only
Right.
perfects.
Crazy. Oh, Dreamcatcher. This is a very popular K-pop group, especially what they license for Pump.
Yeah, they call it K-pop, but in fact
It's like
what,
K-rock, really
K-metal?
K-metal.
It's funny how they call K-pop pretty much anything that's popular
Korea.
music in Korea, but it can be any
Right.
genre. K-rock, K-rap, K-metal,
Right.
K-techno.
And here we have Good Night. I think this was the second Dreamcatcher license that we ever got in Pump.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone just fell in love with this group. And they were fairly new when they
have-
licensed it for Prime 2 as well. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
We have like
I
5
think so.
songs now. And they're still very popular.
Of
Everyone
course.
loves
Maybe
it.
when the new game comes around, they'll license like 5 more songs from them.
So you may notice the harder the step chart gets, the more techniques are crammed into the same step chart. Like in this one, there are a lot of brackets, there are some turns, that Zero will have to actually do because they are holds. And there is a small slowdown, there are fast runs. The higher you get in this game, the more skill you need to learn. Especially if you are playing in a public arcade where the pad may be not as well maintained as we have it at home.
Right. Oh, you probably saw. Oh, you can go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, since this game is aimed for arcade, you may have noticed that Zero plays 4 songs and then he has to re-log in and re-enter a credit. There is somewhat an endless mode in Pump It Up, but it does not save your score, so even when we play at home, we still somewhat enter our credits.
Oh no, I just wanted to mention, like, you probably saw like those little weird like taps right before a hold. In Pump, you can actually hold down a hold like before they come up, and it'll still hit. So that's just kind of a way for people to force a hold on time, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, in Pump It Up, you don't have to press the holds on time. You can press them in advance. That's different from Dance Dance Revolution. But sometimes step makers want to force you to press the holds on time, like for example when they do fast turns, so you can't cheat them just by staying on the panels. And then they place additional steps in front of the holds. Sometimes you can see them, sometimes you can't. It depends on how the step maker made the step chart and also on your note skin. By the way, Zero is not playing on default note skin. It's one of the cosmetics you can use in Pump It Up. You have about 20 note skins to pick from. Some of them originate from older games. Some of them have different special shapes like soccer balls, and those usually come from mission mode. Want to talk a bit about mission mode?
Oh, sure, yeah, mission mode is, this game actually has missions for a dance game. It's crazy. It's basically they give you like an objective, like, you should get like 2 goods or like an X number of grades, and they'll introduce like these special like items, notes, like you'll like avoid these mines, or they're like bombs, or like in DDR like shock arrows, and you'll have like all these crazy items. That's when it gives like the team an excuse to just go crazy.
Yeah, so if anyone gets bored with this game, which is not so easy to achieve, so if you get bored, you can try missions, and it's a different kind of challenge.
It's you can play a mission that requires you to do some math. It's great.
Yeah. Some missions are a thing. And meanwhile, Zero is playing a level 24. It's only 2 levels below the hardest single in this game, which is 20.
Yeah, this chart is pretty nuts. It's definitely like some of the hardest singles out there because it incorporates all sorts of tech like all together: bracketing, jumps, pivoting, like twists and turns. It's a lot of notes condensed into just one lane.
Oh yeah, you can see Zero has to hold the hold and press the panel with the same foot, which is pretty tricky. In Pump It Up, holds keep giving you perfects or misses even after you press them. Not like in DDR, you let it go and you just lose one end and it's 2 steps. In Pump, the hold can give you 1,000 combat like in very short amount of time. It's one of the
and he survived. That is definitely a very challenging chart from. I guess a little bit about this song's artist and this song's the person who wrote this chart for this song. This was written. The song was produced by Doan, a Korean producer, and it was written. This chart, the single 24, was written by Windforce. He was long time like veteran player in Korea. He's been playing since like Extra, which was like 2000. He didn't start writing charts for the game until like NX Absolute, which was 2008, and he was actually like the only person for the longest time, like the only like I guess old veteran really just to be in the current team. He recently left I think like last year.
And the song is composed by in-house composer Doan. pretty much.
Windforce is known for writing hard charts for Doan's songs, and they're both very good friends, and I think they are working on a game together, so excited to see how that goes. But in the meantime, it's time to play some Tetris. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't say that. Tetris. Another song by Doan.
Yeah, it's a remix of one of the Tetris
Right.
teams. I believe he will say it's an A team. But yeah, now you can see that Zero is holding both bars and he's gonna move on both sides of the platform.
Right, this mode is called Doubles.
So, yeah. And he started at level 19. It's like in the middle third
Right.
of the difficulty scale.
He definitely picked quite an interesting first doubles chart to showcase for this for this block. This is a pretty tough chart.
So unlike DDR in Pump It Up, you have to be good in both singles and doubles if you want to be on leaderboards, if you want to take part in
Right.
tournaments, and doubles usually even have more accent on them because there are way more harder doubles than singles. So if you advance far away in the tournament, you will have to play
Right.
more doubles.
You saw that Zelo just did a spin there. It's a very cute spin. Most people would probably just double step that, just not worry about it. You know, just try to score better. But hey, if you want to be cute, spin away. I recommend doing the spin. It's fun. You gotta have fun with this game somehow.
Well, you can have fun in different ways.
Oh, there are plenty of ways to have fun with this game.
And you may have noticed Zero has to move from one side to the other really
Right.
fast.
There's a lot of staircase-like patterns here too.
Yeah, it's like piano, you have to from one side to the other side.
And that was Tetris.
Absolutely perfect.
Remember, you'll see that the circle's color changes to green. That indicates that it's a doubles mode.
And it's another triple S. All perfect.
Oh, my Pump It Up dad needs to calm down. Oh, now that is a very interesting choice for a... Okay. Do you know that?
Just like
All
the
right.
just like the name says, it's
It's
old
very-
school.
It's very old school.
It's a very old song and the step pattern is a thing, let's
It is
say the least.
cool.
You may have noticed a lot of sudden movement, jumps going straight into
Right.
steps and some other weird things. A lot of songs from older times were removed from the newer games, like there is a rotation of licenses, just lots of interest. This is one of not so many original that's like charts are still left in the game, and when players who did not play older games encounter this one, they may be pretty shocked.
Right.
It's not what you'd expect normally from modern Pump It
Yeah,
Up.
it's definitely some pretty interesting charts, especially since this was from NX1. That was when they got really experimental with a lot of the harder stuff.
Yeah, so NX series, it was from 2006 to 2009, roughly. It was a time when they were trying to figure out how the step charting works, how the movement works. They were coming up with finding
Right.
the modern style for step charting in
Right.
this game, which they finally came up with in Fiesta. It was after NX series
Right.
in 2010. But before then, there
Right,
were
and this chart that he's playing right now was actually written by someone who mainly freestyles. So that definitely brings some very interesting things if you get people who mainly choreograph dance performances to write speed charts.
So I see somebody in
Next
chat somewhat
Bad apple.
It's
There you go.
having a request. Well, sadly, we're not taking the requests for this showcase because Zero has a set
Level 20.
specified set list. But for his last song, he's going to attempt a very, very difficult level 27 boss chart. And you can donate to pick which step chart he's gonna play. Let's talk a bit about it right now. What are these?
Yeah, do you want an update on how those
That
are
probably
doing?
don't say anything to anyone.
So we have
Yes, of
1950
course.
and Vacuum Cleaner tied at $50 each, followed by Error Code Zero
Oh my
at 15. So if you want to break the tie, all it takes is $1. But yeah, go on ahead.
Well, Chet, you heard it. With just $1 more of any song.
So while all these are labeled 27, there is still variation in actual difficulty. Vacuum Cleaner is supposed to be like the easiest level 27
Right.
in the game, and it's even though it's a remix, so it's slightly longer than a normal song you would play. It also takes 3 cards instead of 2 when you
Right.
play the game. Error Code is also a remix. It's pretty much a mashup of many original Doin songs. And it's pretty hard. It's a relatively recent song. It has a lot of modern techniques
Right.
used in it. 1950 is not so old either, and it's actually a regular song, so it's the shortest one out of all 3. I think I also like it musically most. It has like very engaging
Right.
guitars and stuff. Really nice.
Crazy how Vacuum Cleaner D27 was also our very first 27 numerically in the game. Well, I guess technically.
Well, officially. The one we're not talking about
right.
was School. Well, question
Right.
mark, question
A
mark.
song that Zelo just played, Nakakapaka Baga Baga, I hope I pronounced that right. I
Yes, you did.
promise you, the game is not glitching out or anything. It's just, that is how the chart is designed. It's just very, like, it's a bunch of stops. It's just the main gimmick for the song.
And you may have noticed on the screen there is AV number, which is the speed mode he was using. And for this song, he had to set it to highest possible
Right.
999 to compensate for the gimmicks. What you see on the screen is what he see on the screen, all the stuttering and stuff.
Yes, another new K-pop license in Double X. Hit by the group 17.
Yeah, it's a very engaging song, and it's a good example how you can make difficult even relatively slow and
Right.
chill
This is
songs.
also a very bracketing heavy.
There are a lot
yes.
of brackets in this one. Bracketing gets actually much harder on doubles because there are way more combinations and you have to process it on the
Right.
fly. Pump It Up, it's not only physically demanding game, it's also very brain
Right.
demanding game.
There's a huge mental aspect going on. Just processing all the notes, timing, and especially if you're playing it in a public arcade setting. He's playing at home, but like having to deal with like crowd noises and everything, trying to learn
Yeah,
to block that out mentally.
There are a lot of distractions and the machine sound is not always
Right.
the loudest. That's one of the bonuses having this at home. You can set sound to wherever you want, as long as it doesn't bother your neighbors.
That always seems to be the main issue.
Well, gladly we don't have neighbors close by, so it's good. But yeah, always be
Right.
considerate if you do stuff like this.
There are some of the items that I mentioned earlier when we talked about missions. The hearts, they mainly gave like bonus. It's just adding like a bonus to your score. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fun visual gimmick. You don't have to
Right.
do anything with them. Unless you do missions which we mentioned before, then you may need to step on them or avoid them depending
Right.
on the mission.
Yeah, the hearts that spelled out hit, that's just another like visual cute gimmick thing, just the chart being cute. A lot of the step chart artists for this game, they just like to artistically design their charts also, just to have a little fun.
I mean, they are players too. You gotta
They
have fun
are.
with whatever you're doing. Yeah, in Pump It Up, they require their step artists to actually physically play test the
Right.
step chart and the mirror location. Otherwise, it won't get approved. So, most of them are really, really top level
Right.
players. And Zillow gets another triple S. We see a lot
Lots
of
of
triple
triple
S's.
S's.
Speaking of, you see that data save in small window. You might have noticed at the top of that window and at the top of the screen when Zillow selects a song, there is a field title, and Zillow has a title specialist. So title is one of challenge systems in this game. You have to do different tasks. Sometimes they're skill related, sometimes they're number related, sometimes it's something weird. And if you do that requirement, you get the cosmetic title, which you can display on your profile. It's different from mission though, because in missions it's more specific. For titles, you usually have to get some number of grades on specific difficulty, or just get specific grade on this select song. So it's somewhat less restrictive than missions,
Right.
let's say so.
Speaking of missions, he looks like he's about to play Kari Wisata Double 22. This was originally a mission chart. Just with some revisions, I think, for Double X.
Yeah, just minor revisions. Sometimes I like to go low effort ways and reuse
Right.
step charts from older games or from missions or just some fun project that step makers did before and then they just added
Right.
officially to the game. So in this game there is a limited capability for edits. You only can use official step editor and only for select songs, not even the full track list. And obviously you can't add your own songs to this game. But a lot of step charts made by the official step makers as edits were later added to the game. So you can just make it rain in step chart, or you can make something for fun if you don't like
Right.
step chart, but most likely it will be just yours for fun.
That is a pretty nice feature to have. Just have people let people like make their own custom charts. At least.
Yeah. One of this custom step chart Zillow made actually became a mission because Korean players liked it so much.
All right, it did. That was a very fast chart.
So, yeah. Zillow actually wanted to mention for this song, there is a little fun story about the title. So, one of the composers went to visit the other composer, and that's how the song was made. And the title literally means field trip. So it's a song about field trip.
Oh, that's an example of you can just hold down those holds, as mentioned before.
Yeah. You just stay there. And you get your perfects pretty
Right.
much for free, as long as you actually
Right.
press the panels. It may be easy on a well-maintained pad, but sometimes in public
Right.
arcades, holds become a task.
Level 22.
I remember when we just got the break-it style pad in my very old
Right.
arcade. That's when I learned that holds are never rest anymore.
Ooh, HTTP got some pretty interesting patterns here.
Yeah, it's actually one of the contest songs, both the song and the character
Oh,
in the
it was?
background. Yeah,
Yeah, On the Mirror likes to hold like these creator contests where anyone can submit like a song that they wrote or a character they design.
yeah. In the latest contest they actually have it right now, you also can submit a design for non-Steam.
Yes,
That would be
and that would be
interesting
very
to see.
interesting.
So in this step chart, Stepmaker somewhat tries to abuse the mechanic where you can hold the holds in advance, but it's very tricky visually, and you have to look at the step chart in advance and figure out what's going on and how to position yourself. It's considered one of the hardest double 23s to master.
It's a very
holds.
technical 23 to say the least. And you saw that, like, if you potentially saw that for like that huge like 24th like stream, he kind of like bracketed some of those, which is probably a good call because trying to do that legit is like very fast.
Yeah. I see a lot of people in the chat enjoying the music, and I want to say, if you have this game in arcades around you, or you have a friend with a cabinet, maybe just give it a try. What Zillow is playing is not the easiest stuff, it's pretty hard already, and there's a lot of way easier stuff, so it's beginner friendly, you can try it and just enjoy easy steps. Don't be afraid, it's fun.
Agreed, definitely give it a try.
We all started somewhere.
Of course.
I remember I failed a 6 on my very first song because it was the song I really wanted to play.
I remember when I first discovered Pump, I was actually in the search for a DDR cabinet in the area, and then I ran into a Pump It Up NX cabinet at my local, used to be a Jillian's, and it's now a Dave & Buster's, good times. And I was like, oh hey, it's Pump It Up, I'll give this a try, and it had a bunch of K-pop, and of course my favorite, Vanya's Beethoven Virus. I'm like, okay, yep, I'm sold. That's what you got me hooked up to the game right there.
Funny enough, me and my friend long time ago we saw and market listing for an ITG cabinet, and when we went to buy it, it turned out to be Pump It Up. We still bought it though, but it was funny. They just used generic picture.
Oh, there we go. We just passed by Beethoven Virus.
Yeah, that step chart was added pretty recently just because the song is so popular, but it didn't have many difficult things.
Well, it looks like he's about to play Danger and Danger by Cranky, who also made every written gamer's favorite song, Conflict. Which is also in this game, but he's picking Danger Danger instead. Yep.
Gotta have some
I
variety.
think start is very heavy on the pivoting, all the twisting and turning. So, especially in the double setting, it's very fast. It's you gotta move that body.
Yeah, Pump is known for having a lot of really complicated turns, and unlike DDR, most of the turns actually resolve. So you can trust the step maker, especially if it's a newer step chart or newer song. Even if it puts you in some weird position where you face away from the screen, it will take you back. I think
so. Just try not to double step if you can, because you will probably get lost pretty easily.
Yeah, you can notice Zillow is doing some minor 180s right in this part.
Can I read off a few donations?
Oh, of course.
Sure, we got $20 from Jalsu55, who says, "Love to let Zilu show off his astounding ability at Pump It Up. Thanks everyone who came together to put on this event. Trans rights." Alright, we also got $15 from Kara, who says, "Trans rights. This goes towards Nick's Klonoa 2 All Visions incentive." Which reminds me, we do have a new incentive to upgrade the Klonoa 2 run later tonight to an All Visions run. And then finally, we have $20 from Ryu with no comment. And let me see where that puts us on the boss level chart bid war. That puts us with 1950 with $70. Vacuum Cleaner very close behind though at 65. And Error Code 0 now at 35. Wow. So really any of them still snipeable.
Yeah, it all can change. Whenever you follow the bid wars, things can happen like the very last second. Zillow said he's gonna cut off at about 50-55 minutes, so you got, what, 10 minutes
a little
to
over
delay?
10 minutes.
if you have specific preference.
Next stage.
Yeah, definitely get those donations in.
Always good to donate
Yep.
for the great
Level
cause.
23. Level 24 over.
Okay, Zilla's going up another level. It's level 24 out of 28 total in this game. And it's composed by our favorite math professor.
Yes, DM Ashura. I think the DM stands for Digital Maestro, but I like to call him the devious mathematician.
He's actually an American, but he composed some original tunes for this game, and they also licensed some of his older stuff.
Right.
Vincent, I thought you called him DM
well,
McPickles.
That's a special name. that's reserved.
Anyways, since he's a math professor, a lot of the song names for his compositions include some math theories or math jokes.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
And you can Google up what annihilator method means.
I remember when the song first was revealed in Pump It Up Prime as a new song, everyone was looking for like, all right, I gotta look up like charts for this song if they don't want to recommend it. And then like, I remember just seeing all the comments like, what the heck? All of these are math videos.
Well, this video is not quite math. It's actually about huge tragedy. It's about the big disaster that happened in Chernobyl in 80s.
Yeah, many of these background videos actually have quite a story and backstory to them, unlike a lot of the very first few games where the background videos were just very random.
Yeah, some of them are fun, some of them are cute, and some can be very depressing. But we won't talk about this. Let's talk about positive stuff.
I think this was DM Shura's first hand into making like a freeform hard song. He's mainly made a lot of like rave, mid-tempo stuff.
That's interesting.
Well, I mean, I guess there's Ignis Fatuus as well, but I mean, this one was where he really wanted to try to take a different direction here.
Yeah, but Ignis is also a remix of a already fast song, so... Yeah, this is original. Aside from that remix, I think it's the first original that game.
I think so. At least, at least one of his first originals. It is.
It's a banger.
Wow, this chart requires a lot of stamina, though.
Yeah, it's also considered one of the mid-boss songs, so it doesn't have a very easy step charts. Most of it is pretty hard, so
you can see that like at the very end, he had to move like transition across the paths like really fast, and that's not easy to do.
I knew you could do it.
Yeah, so BPM, which stands for beats per minute, is what 192 for this one. It's pretty fast. You have what about more than 10 steps per second. I forgot the math on this.
I think that sounds about right.
But you have to move
you gotta go fast in this game.
And the higher that number of BPM, the faster you have to go. So that was second to last credit, and now Zilo is starting his last credit, I think.
Oh dear, neither some very very choices. There's very choices.
I just want to say for the next song, if you know the lyrics in that one part, please spam them in chat.
Yeah, that's gonna be one meme for the show.
Please do, we'd love to see it.
You are allowed to meme, let's go.
Oh yeah.
And the background for Pump It Up was made specifically for this game. You can see for the killer machines they show Pump It Up. It's really funny. Yeah, it's so neat.
Here we go. Brain power.
And this step chart requires a lot of brain power.
What? Yeah, of course.
There are a lot of brackets, a lot of really wide turns, hard to perform, and also a lot of stuttering when your arrows just jump up and down really fast.
Right, especially when it comes to the chorus, that's when the chart goes nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to read. So get all the brain power you have.
Pump that adrenaline.
Yeah, get the lyrics ready for the chorus. We're gonna spam the chat.
We get. I know, I'm ready.
Good, I'll copy paste from you. I don't have it handy.
It's very interesting that this song was originally, I think, like a contest song from Sound Voltex, and then exclusivity ended, and then it's now in every game. Good. I want to see it in every game.
I think they just didn't want to relicense it with one game exclusively and instead put it everywhere else.
Yep.
You'd probably make way more profit doing that.
Yep. Oh, here we go.
Let's go! Yay! That's what we like to see when brain power is being played.
Very appropriate response. Oh, you'll see he has those a very fast double step jack there too.
Yeah.
Oh.
So when you see two notes on the same panel, one after another, we call it jacks, you have to let the panel go and press it again really fast.
Right.
It's not easy, especially if you're losing balance when you come from the fast turn, or if your feet, like your legs, are not so good.
Next stage.
If you play this game in bad shoes, or if you do a lot of playing without holding the bar, you can get knee pains later. So be careful how you play and choose your shoes wisely. Shoes are very important for these games. But if your knees get damaged, it's getting harder to do the jacks.
Right. Take care of your knees. Just hold on to your knees.
Take your vitamins, don't forget to hydrate. Always hydrate when you play this game.
And this is Just Hold On to All Fighters by Void.
It's another Japanese composer.
Right, Prime definitely introduced a lot of Japanese producers since that was when Animero tried to tap into the Japanese market for Pump.
Yeah, sadly it already had DDR, so it didn't become too popular.
It was kind of too they were kind of late on the timing to introduce that.
But at least we got a lot of good music out of it.
We got a lot of bangers coming out of it, of course.
Including Bad Apple.
Yes, that's the most important one. We're starting off with a lot of brackets. This one is very, just a lot of drills, which is just a stream of just two notes.
Yeah, the song itself is not the fastest, it's only 175, but it has a lot of streams that just go non-stop, and it also has a lot of bracket movement around the pad.
Right, you definitely need a lot of stamina for this one.
Yeah, it's not the easiest 25 if you don't have stamina, but if you do, it may be one of the easiest.
Right, I see someone saying our bid war is so close, so if we want to go into donations, I think that was a good time, and for people to go ahead and donate.
Yes, we only got like 2 more minutes.
Right.
Do it now.
No donations as of now, but yeah, like I said, last chance to snipe the bid war. 1950 still in the lead by $5.
What happens if they tie? Will it go to the runner of his choice?
If they tie, I'll flip a coin. No, I'll ask stuff,
okay.
and we'll make a decision. A decision will be made by someone.
Well, we already voted in advance. We all are for 1950. Just because we love the song most. It's a good guitar song. We need more guitars in this game. Also, Zilla is doing really good. He's skipping the combo in this very dense run.
Yeah, this
really,
is
really fast.
This is it's a
Oh,
very
nice.
intensive chart.
Yeah, it's not easy to keep the combo in that part, and
Absolutely not.
oh, so close. Only just couple misses in the last bracket part.
Right.
That was very good second half of the song. Like very
6
solid.
misses? Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That's
And
insane.
you can also see it's the best score he got on this profile. Oh, best
Personal
score
best.
he got recently, yeah.
Personal best, let's go.
I think the machine best is on rank, so it could be his personal best, like actual personal best.
Right.
And when you get up score, you can see a blue number appearing, which
Right.
shows how many points you got over your previous best score.
I'm actually a little bit ahead right now on time, so I'm actually going to add one extra song before we close the bid war off. So I'm going to pick one more. So y'all have one last song. Get your donations in for the bid war if y'all want.
Ooh, one more song.
Unknown song, I don't know what it's gonna be.
Is he gonna pick Beethoven Virus?
I don't know. Conflict, let's go!
Yes.
No.
1949. I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
All
fun.
right.
That's a cool one. No, it's another contest song. And it's very, very interesting music for Pump It Up. You don't always hear this waltz type of music.
Right.
A lot of piano. I forgot if it was this one or not, but the composer said they did not expect to be anything hard to be made for this one, and when they saw the step chart, they were really surprised by the difficulty.
Right. Yeah, I remember it was the composer and the step artist who wrote this chart where they were having a live stream just talking about Pump for the Korean crowd, and he mentioned that, and Windforce, the person who wrote this chart, was like, "Oh yeah, my bad, oops."
Yeah, I think it was when I saw that reply in that stream. Yeah, this has a lot of like smaller runs, but they're very dense and very fast. The BPM for this song is also very high. What is it? It's like
Right.
260? What is?
Like 240, 260. It's fast.
Yeah, it's way above 230, which is like already considered very fast.
Right.
Though most of the notes here are not 16s, they're like 8s or 12s. You still get those smaller runs, and you also get brackets and other difficult stuff to do. That's a very difficult one.
Ooh.
I think
those
you'll-
those bracket jacks.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
you'll drop the hold and the life bar could have went to 0. We may see the broken grade actually, because of that hold. So yeah, you saw what happens if you don't hold the hold. If you don't like do it like you mean it.
Hello?
Very good ending. That
Just wow, he just nailed that stair run.
yeah, that's a lot of fast movement.
I knew you could.
All right, let's divert it. Up, there's our there's our first broken grade.
Yeah, you can see the grade is gray, it's broken, and the sound is also
And
distorted.
the sound is also distorted.
It
Yeah.
started normally and then it just laughs at you, and
Next stage.
it could be humiliating if you do it in arcade.
Right.
I think that's why so many people switched their attention from getting better scores to just getting colored grade and stage passing.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna do one more refresh.
All right.
One more refresh.
Yes, it is that time.
Looks like our winner is
Let's go.
Let's go.
1950 with $70.
Oh,
the
man.
vacuum cleaner is 65.
Hooray!
So the winner is 1950.
Hooray! And Zilo actually went out of the credit. I was about to say it's good because he only had 2 hearts left.
Well, at least 1950 is the shortest song, so I'll die the fastest. So let's see what happens. So thank y'all for donating.
Chat, let's give the runner all the energy. It's a really hard song. Good luck.
Oh, here we go. We're about to see a chart that I would like to describe as it's a bunch of arrows on a screen.
Yeah, one of the step makers described making harder chart somewhat like you have to make it as much nonsense as you can while still following the music in the song.
Right. And this chart was revised too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was made slightly easier, just a tiny bit.
Just a tad bit. It's like, okay, alright. And him getting hydrated.
Yes.
That's important. Stay hydrated.
Dill will need all that energy.
Of course he will.
This is one of the songs where you don't get many breaks. Usually in Pump It Up, the step chart's constructed like you have a intro, then you have harder parts, then you have some break, probably standing on the hole, so just doing some very easy stuff. Then you have another hard part, maybe another break, another hard part. But in this one, the breaks are very small, and the hard parts are just switching with other hard parts, but less hard parts. It's a salad of hard. Let's go.
Oh dear. This is a dark song too. Look at the video. It's like crosses, and you'll see like the Grim Reaper in a bit.
Yeah, and a lot of graves and skeletons.
Right.
Just what you want from your boss song. Lots of guitars, dark background, which is also good because it doesn't blind you when you play.
Right.
And a step chart that's gonna wear you down a lot.
Oh, look at that jump bracket mess. Well, here's like the only break that he gets.
Yeah, the only break, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, this chart just gets... Well, I was gonna mention that it's crazy in the end, but wow, that mash.
As I said, hard parts are just smashed with even harder parts.
Right, it's just there is nothing easy about this. He's almost there. He just has that final few measures of notes to go through. Yep, here we go. He was almost there to stage pass it. It's a really hard chart to stage pass. How many people stage pass it? Like in the world?
Yeah, it's very complex at the end. What you see is not what you have to pass.
Right.
Still a very good run. And it's just second to the hardest difficulty.
Right.
Great job. Great job to the runner.
Yeah, definitely a nice effort.
Alright, as you could probably expect from seeing that, I'm very tired and need to go throw myself into a shower after this. But thank y'all for donating. Thank y'all for donating for the showcase to even happen. Thank y'all, all staff, everyone volunteering. Thank you for having me. It's always great to showcase this game, especially for such a great cause. Like, we know there's been a lot of trans right bills being pushed through that are really concerning, especially here in my home state of Texas. So we want to do everything we can to help everyone out because we just want everybody to like be able to live free and be happy. So absolutely, trans rights are human rights.
100%.
Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. Y'all have anything else y'all want to say before we sign off?
That would be it, I guess. Good job.
Good job. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for having us as to commentate, and definitely donate.
Yes, thank y'all again for having us. I hope you have a good rest of the marathon while I throw myself in the shower. But y'all have a great rest of the day, and definitely stay tuned for all the many, many amazing coming runs. So thank y'all, everyone.